Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be taking this 2022 Genesis G70 on a POV test drive. The G70 was facelifted for 2022. This one is the 3.3 turbo, twin turbo charged V6, and this one is the advanced sport. It does have the sport advanced package. Basically it's a $4,300 package, and the price on this one is $50,000, and the color is called Himalayan gray. It does look very good, and it does have the sandstorm gray color. Basically it's a white tan interior. But let's go ahead and take it on a test drive and see how this facelifted G70 does. Alright, so let's go ahead and take this 2022 G70 Sport Advanced package on a test drive and see how it does. This thing sounds really nice. I did drive the launch edition of this G70 and I was very impressed, so I'm going to take this Sport Advanced package on a test drive and see how it does. The price on this one is $50,000. I think the launch edition was $55,000 if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check and I'll correct that in the bottom of the screen. But let's go ahead and take this G70 on a test drive and see how it does. Alright, so driving this 2022 G70 drives nice and smooth, and as I said, I did drive the G70 launch edition and it was beautiful, and cabin is beautiful. This one is finished in sandstorm gray. It does look really nice, but I do prefer the red interior much better. We're gonna go ahead and hop on the highway and see how this G70 does. Definitely gets up to speed very quick with no issues, and such a responsive, beautiful car. As I said, I drove the launch edition and that thing was beautiful. This one has the same exact engine, the 3.3 twin turbo charged V6, so a very nice responsive engine. It is paired to this 8-speed automatic transmission that is nice and responsive as well. Yep, definitely this transmission is nice and responsive. And for the horsepower numbers, this one has 365 horses and 376 pound-feet of torque. And seriously, this thing moves and it's really fun to drive. It does have all the nice safety features, beautiful 10.25-inch screen, and overall I'm really happy with what Genesis did with the facelifted G70. It doesn't even feel like it's a facelift. It feels like a brand new design. Yeah, definitely the interior is the same except that screen, but that screen looks really nice, and from the outside, as I said, it looks completely different. I did do a full review and I did a POV test drive of the launch edition. But yeah, seriously, this thing is very nice. merging on the highway, passing someone, accelerating hard, you're not going to have any issues with this G70. Transmission is nice and responsive, super quiet on the highway. There is no wind noise, road noise. Does have lane keep assist, steering assist, adaptive cruise control. You can set the distance between you and the car in front of you, and the car will basically brake and accelerate for you. .376 pound-feet of torque are more than enough to do anything with this G70. This one has the Sport Advanced package. Basically, it gives you cold seats, a wide sunroof. I'm not exactly sure what they mean by wide. I think this one has about the same size, or if not the same size, as the Launch Edition that I drove. Sounds good, and nice and responsive in every single mode. Even in eco mode, it is nice and responsive. Let's go ahead and put it in sport mode, and you could have so much fun with this G70. If you put it in Sport Plus mode, it will turn off the traction control, and this thing will be tail happy. Does downshift all the way down to the first gear. Steering wheel gets nice and heavy in sport mode. Suspension is nice and nice and soft on bumps like this. I did open the window a little bit down so you could hear how this thing sounds like. Yep, definitely this thing is so fun to drive. It sounds good. This thing just moves, and does have blind spot monitoring system. But yeah, seriously, Genesis did a great job with the G70, this facelifted G70. It's just, they did so much. The price on this one is $50,000. It does have a $500 option. It's called a color option called Himalayan gray, and overall I'm very impressed with what Genesis is doing. The G80, nice, beautiful, comfortable sedan, but the G70 is nice and sporty and feels nice and light, and definitely this G70 is a German competitor. You get so many features and that 10-year warranty. And I can't wait to test drive the Type S to see how this 3.3 twin turbo compares against Acura's 3.5 single turbo, twin scroll turbo with this G70. So I'm very excited to see how they do. This thing just sounds so good. If you guys are curious about the fuel economy numbers, they are 17 in the city, 25 highway, and 20 combined. And man, this thing is really fun to drive, nice and spacious. Seats are very comfortable. Does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Does not have digital display, but that's completely fine. really wish that this rear view mirror was frameless. For 50,000, I think Genesis should have made it frameless. This thing just sounds so good. No pops and crackles, but nice and deep and aggressive. Let's see if I could make any wheels to spin in sport mode. I'm not going to put it in sport plus because it does turn off the traction control, and I'm not trying to get tail happy right here or spin that G70. Yep, so no wheel spin at all, and nice and responsive. Barely any lag from this twin turbo. Yeah, I don't mind having this G70 in sport mode, and downshifting with the paddle shifters is really fun. But let me go ahead and put it back in comfort mode. I'll try not to drive with the paddle shifters. I'll just let that 8-speed automatic transmission shift by itself. They're going to be a 12-volt, 1 USB, does have heated seats, cold seats, automatic climate control, which is expected. It does have dual climate control, heated steering wheel, and as I mentioned, that 10.25-inch screen that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It does not have 360 camera. I really wish it did for $50,000 sedan, but steering wheel looks good. The climate control, those buttons, everything has a really nice look to it. Buttons feel not too bad for a $50,000 car. And as I mentioned, this screen has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I think I mentioned that 3 times already. There's going to be the drive mode selector right here. This 8-speed automatic transmission shifter does have brake hold. Here is the parking sensor, traction control, a button to turn on the backup camera, and inside there's going to be a tiny bit of storage place, and this will control the seat, so you don't have to reach all the way there to move the seat, the passenger seat, to the back and front. And the back seats are not usable. There is barely any space in the back, so there is not really a good amount of leg room in the back of this G70. And by the way, this G70 actually has acoustic glass, so it does have double pane glass. Interior is nice and quiet. There is no road noise, tire noise, and there is no noise or sounds from the cars that are passing by. So this interior is very, very quiet. So I'm glad with what Genesis did with this G70. Beautiful car, looks good, sounds good, it's nice and quick, and yeah, as I said, overall, such a beautiful car for $50,000. You are getting a ton of things, and this 3.3 twin turbo charged V6 by itself is amazing. So they did such a great job with this G70. And here is the key. Does have 6 buttons on it: lock, unlock, trunk release. Does not have automatic trunk release for $50,000. So things like that, I really hate it when companies do that. Like for $50,000, I think they should have included an automatic trunk release, even though this is more like a base trim. Yep, this thing gets up to speed very quick, as I said multiple times. So you could have so much fun with this G70. It has a ton of things for $50,000, and definitely this G70 competes against the Germans. Yeah, before they weren't, but I think now they can't compete against the Germans. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this POV test drive of this 2022 G70. I would like to thank Faraz and Key Hyundai in Milford, Connecticut for providing me this 2022 G70. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.